The Chicago Sky just made the most shocking decision in WNBA history, and Angel Reese's response has everyone talking. What started as a simple suspension turned into something nobody saw coming, and now the entire league is watching this disaster unfold. But before we dive into the chaos, make sure to hit that like button if you're ready for the truth about what's really happening behind closed doors in Chicago. Angel Reese hasn't played a single minute in 2025 yet, and the reason why will blow your mind after that bizarre half-game suspension at the end of last season that had everyone scratching their heads. Things have gotten 10 times worse. The Chicago Sky organization thought they could sweep everything under the rug during the offseason, but Angel Reese just dropped a bombshell that changes everything. She posted on social media 3 days ago saying she's considering sitting out the entire 2025 season if changes aren't made, and the specific demands she listed have the front office in complete panic mode. But that wasn't even the beginning of this mess. Remember when Angel mysteriously didn't travel with the team for their final 2 games of 2024? Well, sources close to the situation are now revealing that wasn't just about a back injury. Multiple teammates have come forward anonymously saying there was a massive locker room confrontation that the organization desperately tried to hide. Marina Mabrey, who was traded earlier in the season, just did an interview where she hinted at knowing exactly what went down, saying, quote, "Some things are better left unsaid, but karma always finds its way." The way she emphasized karma had everyone reading between the lines. What happened next would shock the entire basketball world. The Chicago Sky's new general manager, who just took over in November, accidentally leaked internal emails during a press conference Zoom call. For about 30 seconds before someone noticed, everyone could see emails discussing Angel Reese's trade value and potential destinations. The most shocking part, they were actively shopping her to 3 specific teams, and one of those teams was the Indiana Fever. Can you imagine Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark on the same team? The emails showed they were asking for an absolutely insane package in return, including multiple first-round picks and established players. The situation got even messier when Chennedy Carter decided to speak up. She went on a podcast last week, and without directly naming Angel, she said some players think they're bigger than the team, and that's why Chicago can't win. She mentioned how certain players only care about their personal stats and brand deals instead of team success. Everyone knew exactly who she was talking about, and Angel's response was swift and brutal. She liked several tweets calling out Chennedy's shooting percentage from last season, and retweeted a stat comparison showing her rebounding numbers destroying everyone else on the team. But here's where things take an unexpected turn that nobody's talking about yet. The Chicago Sky's owner just had a secret meeting with Angel Reese's agent, and what was discussed has the potential to change everything. According to sources who were briefed on the meeting, they're considering making Angel the highest paid player in franchise history, but with one massive condition. She would have to sign a 5-year extension with a no-trade clause that she can't waive for the first 3 years. This would essentially lock her in Chicago through 2029, and Angel's camp is reportedly furious about this proposal. The timing couldn't be worse for the Sky. They just lost their head coach, who took a job with the Las Vegas Aces as an assistant, claiming it was a better opportunity for growth. That's right, someone left a head coaching position to become an assistant coach somewhere else. If that doesn't tell you everything about the state of the Chicago Sky organization, nothing will. 3 assistant coaches have also quietly resigned in the past month, and nobody wants to talk about why. The team is literally falling apart from the inside, and Angel Reese is watching it all happen while deciding if she even wants to be part of this disaster. What makes this even more explosive is what Angel's former teammates from college are now saying. Multiple LSU players have started posting cryptic messages about loyalty and knowing someone's true character. One former teammate posted a photo of their championship ring with the caption, "Some people forget what it takes to win when the spotlight gets too bright." Another posted about how real ones stay humble no matter how famous they get. The subtweets are flying, and it's clear that not everyone is on Angel's side in this situation. Meanwhile, other WNBA players are starting to weigh in, and their reactions are absolutely wild. Aja Wilson posted a simple eyes emoji that got over 50,000 likes in an hour. Breanna Stewart liked a tweet that said the drama is more entertaining than the games at this point. Even Diana Taurasi, who rarely comments on drama, said in an interview that young players need to learn that respect is earned, not demanded. The entire league is choosing sides, and it's getting ugly fast. But that's not even the most shocking development. The Chicago Sky's majority owner is now considering selling the team entirely. Sources say he's exhausted from dealing with the constant drama and negative publicity. 3 different ownership groups have already expressed interest, including one led by a former NBA superstar who wants to completely rebuild the franchise from scratch. If the team gets sold, Angel Reese's contract situation becomes even more complicated, and she might have grounds to demand a trade or buyout. The financial implications of this mess are staggering. Angel Reese's jersey sales have dropped 40% since the drama started. The Sky's season ticket renewals for 2025 are at an all-time low. Sponsors are starting to pull out, with 2 major partners already announcing they won't renew their deals. The team is hemorrhaging money, and Angel Reese is being blamed for all of it by the front office, even though many argue the organization created this disaster themselves. Here's something nobody expected though. Caitlin Clark actually defended Angel Reese in a recent interview, saying the media loves to pit them against each other, but she respects Angel's game and understands how frustrating bad management can be. She mentioned how lucky she feels to be with the Fever organization and how important good leadership is for young players. This unexpected support from her biggest rival has people wondering if there's more to this story than we know. Some are even speculating that Caitlin knows something about the Chicago situation that hasn't been made public yet. The plot thickens even more when you realize that Angel Reese's agent is the same person who orchestrated 3 of the biggest trades in WNBA history. This agent has never lost a battle with the front office, and sources say they're preparing for war. They've already compiled a massive document detailing every promise the Chicago Sky broke, every instance of mismanagement, and every violation of the collective bargaining agreement. If this goes to arbitration, it could set a precedent that changes how NBA teams operate forever. What really has everyone talking though is the leaked audio from a team meeting that surfaced yesterday. While the quality is poor and you can't make out everything, you can clearly hear raised voices and someone saying this is exactly why we can't win. Another voice, which many believe is Angel's, responds with something about accountability and leadership. The meeting apparently ended with multiple people storming out, and practice was canceled the next day. But wait, it gets even crazier. The Chicago Sky's general manager just hired a crisis management firm, the same firm that handled the Phoenix Suns owner scandal and the Ime Udoka situation in Boston. When you bring in the heavy hitters like that, you know things are about to get really serious. They're preparing for something big to drop, and insiders are saying it could be related to potential legal action from Angel Reese's camp. The other players on the Sky are stuck in an impossible situation. If they support Angel publicly, they risk angering management. If they don't support her, they look like bad teammates. Kalia Copper, who left Chicago for Phoenix, just posted about how happy she is with her new team and how professional organizations operate differently. That's about as direct a shot as you can take without naming names. Here's the thing that nobody wants to admit. Both sides have valid points. Angel Reese deserves to be on a competitive team that supports their star players. She's been putting up incredible numbers despite playing with inconsistent teammates and coaching changes. On the other hand, the Sky organization has a point about professionalism and team chemistry. You can't build a winning culture if your best player is constantly at odds with everyone else. The resolution to this mess might come sooner than expected. Sources indicate that an emergency board meeting has been scheduled for next week, where Angel Reese's future with the team will be the only topic discussed. 3 scenarios are on the table. First, they could trade her before the season starts and try to rebuild. Second, they could meet all her demands and essentially hand her the keys to the franchise. Third, and this is the nuclear option, they could suspend her indefinitely for conduct detrimental to the team and dare her to take them to court. What makes this timing even more insane is that the WNBA draft is coming up and the Sky have a lottery pick. If they trade Angel, they could package that pick with her for an absolute haul. Multiple teams are reportedly preparing massive offers, including one Eastern Conference team that's willing to trade their entire starting front court. The bidding war could be historic, but only if the Sky actually decide to pull the trigger. The league office is watching this situation closely too. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has already had multiple conversations with both sides trying to mediate. The last thing the WNBA needs is a massive public battle between one of its brightest young stars and a flagship franchise. They're desperately trying to keep this from becoming an even bigger story, but it might already be too late for that. Angel Reese's next move will determine everything. If she shows up to training camp and acts like everything is fine, maybe this blows over. If she holds out or demands a trade publicly, this could become the biggest story in WNBA history. Her social media activity suggests she's ready for war, posting quotes about knowing your worth and not settling for less than you deserve. The impact on the 2025 season could be massive. The Sky were expected to be playoff contenders with a healthy Angel Reese, but now they might be looking at a complete rebuild. Other teams are circling like vultures, knowing that Chicago might have to make a desperation move. The Western Conference teams especially would love to add a player of Angel's caliber to compete with the Aces dynasty. This situation is far from over, and the next few weeks will be absolutely crucial. Will Angel Reese become the highest paid player in Chicago Sky history, or will she force her way out in what could be the most dramatic exit the WNBA has ever seen? Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell, because when this story breaks wide open, you'll want to be the first to know. Comment below where you think Angel Reese will end up playing this season, because at this point, anything could happen.